everybody who's watching this video currently. Welcome to our 2025 Acumatica Summit recap. Stay tuned to the end where we're going to announce our winner of our walking pad Enter to Win that we had at our booth at Summit. Today, I have a couple of really awesome people here with me today on the Crestwood team. We have Colleen, who is our Director of Customer Success. And if you don't know what that means, she and her team are focused on actively helping our clients achieve their business goals, ensuring they get the maximum value from their ERP investment through really proactive just support and guidance. That's Colleen's job here at Crestwood. And then we have Robert, who's our Acumatica Service Director. He is responsible for overseeing our expert team of consultants who implement and support solutions for our clients. They really ensure that they meet the expectations of our client needs and really align with companies' strategic goals along the way. And so also partnered here alongside me is Greg Chan, our marketing director here at Crestwood, and I am our CMO, Stephanie McCauley. This group is going to be super fun today. We have lots of laughs and a lot of energy, so hopefully everybody has fun with that. And that said, we're going to just kind of dig in. We're going to do a speed round of questions with Colleen and Robert. We're going to pick their brains. The objective here today is to recap Summit from last week, but in an entirely different way. We're not going to tell you all the things that happened at Summit. A lot of people saw that. What we're going to tell you is what we think of the things that happened at Summit and how we're going to make them actionable. And so for clients, this is going to provide you with insights into what do you need to do next with all of this information that's swirling around from Summit. So I'm game. Are you guys game? You ready?
Ready to go? Ready.
Let's do it. All right, so this question is going to be for both Colleen and Robert. It's our introductory question. Tell us, last week, what were you most excited to see or learn about at Summit? So maybe Colleen, you go first.
Yeah, so I think for me, the most excitement is, we've been hearing all of this buzz of late as to, Acumatica changing the new user interface and rolling it out, in different versions, working on the underlying framework. And it was just so exciting to see that new user interface come to light in its fullest, and the AI integration that they're looking to do. I think those were the two topics that were the top buzz over at Summit. I, attended one of the AI sessions, and it was wall to wall packed with people, standing room only. It was just, I think for me, that was probably the biggest buzz, is just where Acumatica is taking the product, the technology behind it, and just actually seeing it in action was so cool.
Yeah, and it feels like there was a lot of thought process that went into it, because where other ERP systems immediately came out with an AI solution, which is just kind of a search bot, Acumatica took time to think through exactly how were they going to apply AI into this environment in a way that actually means something, right? So I was really impressed with it too. Robert, what about you?
Yeah, I agree. I think the AI first product strategy really shows that Acumatica does not want to bolt on a product. They want to build this in. I was excited to see how much time they spent on responsible AI as well. It's something that we talk about at Crestwood constantly, and being on the forefront of that vision is really powerful. The second thing that I thought about was the dynamic prompts. I haven't seen that in the AI space yet. So being able to have a no-code approach to build out prompts into the engine gave me a ton of ideas that we'll use in future implementations.
Yeah, those are good. I'm interested to see more about that. We may have to do some blogs on that one. So, as we talk about the fun things we saw, and then we look at some of the insights that we gained from Summit, Robert, coming back to you, what were the top three major announcements or innovations from Acumatica that you think our clients should know about?
I would say the focus on industry edition highlights. It continues to be a primary point of Acumatica at Summit, and it shows their focus and understanding how different customers have different needs. So in the manufacturing space, I was excited to see that they had a focus on production scheduling, and even spoke about building out an APS engine in the future. That's something that our customers are wanting more and more of as they grow. And at the end of the day, Acumatica is a platform that scales. For distribution, they talked about pricing and catalog management. That's massive, whether you're fulfilling items for your customers or to a manufacturer. Being able to manage that inside of the Acumatica space is a game changer. And then in construction, the project billing. Crestwood uses projects internally. We use Acumatica as our tool of choice. and seeing that they continue to invest in the product allows us to really take it up to the next level. So I thought that was my takeaways from that section.
Yeah, those are solid. Again, probably some more questions that clients are going to have from us that we can answer, through some blogs or different videos and things along the way also. Colleen, how about you? 3 major announcements or innovations that you thought were impressive?
Yeah, I think being able to see some of the newer technology within the ISVs that, they're bringing forward, really highlighting the relationship with ADP and the success of it. That's a big endeavor for us at Crestwood as we partner with different ISVs and markets. So that was really great to see that really being highlighted at Summit. And I just echoing Robert's sentiments. I think just based on our client base and our focus at Crestwood, just seeing where they are investing in making the product better for our clients as it relates to manufacturing, distribution, and construction was just really exciting to see how things are going to roll forward with that.
Yeah. So Robert, when you think about that, how do those updates that they've put out, how do you think that challenges the updates that they put out, how do you think that aligns with the challenges that our clients in those industries are experiencing? Any like big insights there for you?
A lot of what I saw is what our customers are posting on the community. So I know they take
Mm.
that feedback very seriously. And we have customers that are already asking, when can we implement this feature? And that's a real standout comment for us that we're getting traction and seeing businesses grow this quickly.
Okay. Yeah, that's good feedback. And so, Colleen, on the new product side with those features and enhancements, just knowing that you and your team are so in depth with our client accounts, what do you think kind of stood out as a game changer for our clients that they should know about?
Yeah, so one of the ones that Robert mentioned was on the manufacturing, the production scheduling, and the new views. I mean, that has been something that clients have been asking for some time. There's been a lot of content out on the community site for it. We've had a number of clients asking for it. So to see that coming to fruition is just like, yes, they're getting it, it's going. And I think that a couple other pieces were just for our distribution clients. I mean, in this kind of affects, I would also say manufacturing clients as well, but being able to see some of the lot serial attributes that they're introducing on the distribution side, I think that's really exciting. And then as well as on the mobile app for the WMS, that in 25R1, clients are going to be able to have warehouse transfer receipts. And that's been a need, a little gap for a bit. So exciting to see that in the product now as well. And just really embracing how Acumatica is taking the feedback from partners, from clients, and they're putting into the product. They're just not marching to their own roadmap. They're making sure that it's going to be a viable product for the ecosystem itself.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a hot topic too, as we had a happy hour for all of our clients that we brought to Summit or that met us at Summit. And some of those changes that you guys are speaking to, those were some of the main questions that they had at our happy hour too. So yeah, it's super aligned with that. Okay, so we're going to talk about impact on clients and businesses now. And Greg's got a couple questions sort of in this section for you guys. So Greg, I'm going to let you take it from here.
Yeah. These have been very intriguing insights and a lot of exciting things to look forward to. So we kind of want to break down, what these changes mean for our clients and sort of how they can maximize the value of their ERP investment. So I'll hand it to you, Robert, in terms of our first question here is like, how can our clients take advantage of these updates in their current ERP system?
Well, first, we'd love to have an introductory conversation and talk to you about your business. Different businesses will apply these changes in different ways, but that's what we're here for, is to have the conversation and realize how it can streamline your operations or improve your back office operations. At the end of the day, we have so much to take advantage of. One area that I would implore customers to go visit is community.acumatica.com. They announced a lab section at the top of community, and we have customers participating already. So this is something that we're already in touch with our customers on and really highlighting some of the feedback that they have before these features make it into the main product.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And it definitely sounds like a lot of opportunities there for our clients. And while we were at Summit, we definitely heard a lot of sort of real world success stories and we heard a lot of great case studies where they really did utilize Acumatica to its best ability. So next question is to you, Colleen. Were there any sessions in particular or customer success stories that really resonated with you, and what really made them intriguing to you?
Yeah. So one of the things that I had sent out an email to our clients before we headed out to Summit, right, that we're going to be attending, and just kind of saying, hey, here's some tips and tricks. Here's some things you can expect. It was my 10th Summit, so I felt like I could give some good constructive advice. But one of my big things was about like networking. And I really feel that our clients, as well as other clients within the Acumatica community, really take advantage of that. There was so much collaboration going on that it was just not about the product, right? It was about just taking a look at how clients can leverage each other. We actually have clients that decided that are from the west side of Michigan in the Grand Rapids area, and they're actually going to be creating a West Michigan user group, and it's going to be an officially sponsored Acumatica community supported group because as a result of Summit. There were some companies that got together, they wanted to do this, we put them in touch with the right people, and now there's going to be a user group on the west side of Michigan, which is super exciting. We had another client that attended, and their takeaway that they sent me when I followed up with them to say, hey, what did you think? Tell me. They said, the community is strong and integral to the system. I mean, it was just like, it was nice to see that a client who's new, who's not even fully implemented in Acumatica, is seeing this word community, because that's what we are, right? But I mean, at the end of the day, Acumatica really does a nice job of acknowledging clients across the board and, doing the Impact Client of the Year and really getting to see the efforts that, the firm that does the recycling and, how they're implementing Acumatica to help support those positive efforts to just everybody here. I just feel that, it's really nice to see those types of acknowledgments that Acumatica takes along the way as well.
Yeah. Oh,
Colleen,
yeah. Yeah. Oh, go
can
ahead,
I add
Robert.
to that, Greg?
Yeah.
Colleen, you make a great point with customers talking to each other. I think that's one of the major benefits of Summit is you see customers all along their journey. What we've seen at Crestwood is customers continue to scale with Acumatica. We have customers that are adding companies, warehouses, product lines. So you don't just attend Summit for the now, you attend Summit for the next 5 years, and you can see where people are taking this platform. And I was involved in some incredibly engaging conversations about what's next for each individual.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really kind of a fun challenge too, because the more clients you bring as a partner with Acumatica who supports the software and all these implementations, it allows your clients to talk to each other, and that could be a good or bad thing depending on how good you are as a VAR, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so in our case, I was just really proud to have such a group of clients there that could kind of speak to not only the success of Acumatica, but the success of working with Crestwood, right? And of course, we got nominated, which congrats to you guys and all of us, of course, at Crestwood, but we were nominated for Customer Success Partner of the Year, right? And it's kind of truth and point with this that as we work with our clients, they get to know each other. Kind of word spreads about how the type of work that you're doing with these client accounts. And so I was really proud of that for us as well.
Yeah, I really love seeing all the Acumatica users working together. It's really a beautiful sight, and I think like going back to what Robert was saying, everybody's sort of in a different part of their Acumatica journey, and everybody's willing to help each other, and there's always something that you can learn, even from someone that just implemented Acumatica or someone that's been using it for over a decade. So I think it's an amazing thing to see. My last question, sort of along again for the impact on our clients and business. This one's for you, Colleen. Sorry, what advice would you give to clients who are considering upgrading to the latest version of Acumatica?
Yeah, so the first thing I think, from our client base perspective, we're already starting to have those conversations. We already know that Acumatica is going to be releasing 25R1 in March timeframe. So we're already having those discussions with those clients as far as, what makes the most sense. Do you want to go to R2? Are you an R2 implementer and adapter, or do you want to wait for some of the really cool features in R1? Just because we're only a couple of weeks away. When you think about it, it's amazing to think that we're almost done with Q1 here. But yeah, so, already just having those conversations. And then if, there's a customer that's out there that's like, that is just like top notch, we definitely want to make sure that the customer success manager is involved and, making sure that we're having that conversation to put the plan together and when's it going to make the most sense for the business, just so that way we can start to alert Robert and the team so that they can start to get ramped up and get things in the queue and be ready for that big push of moving to that version.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of exciting things to look forward to for our clients in particular. And I know that, our CSMs are working diligently and very hard on, some of the features that would make the most sense for our clients. So yeah, yeah, it's a lot of exciting things to look forward to. Next up on our list, I'll hand it back to Stephanie. We're just going to talk a little bit about what Crestwood's role is going to be and some of the next steps.
Yeah, so for us, we operate on a lot of process at Crestwood, right? So we operate on EOS. EOS is the entrepreneurial operating system that really is sort of designed as a methodology to run your business. And so what that allows us to do is we, as you guys know, we kind of go back and we say, okay, if something's going to happen, what is the process to get there, right? And how do we communicate that internally and externally to our clients? So, as I think about how we run our business and I think about how that translates to our clients, we have to start considering how are we going to position ourselves to help clients navigate and implement these new features, because it's not like we're just going to throw something out there to them, right? And so, Robert, as we think through that, what's sort of your advice for how we're going to position ourselves, as we've talked about internally, that clients should know about when it comes to navigating and implementing these?
Absolutely. So as Colleen mentioned, it all starts with the CSM team. We're having conversations already. We have QBRs with our customers to talk through changes in the business so we can be proactive on the features that you can utilize best. More importantly, at the next stage, we're focusing on how we can apply that to your business. So we offer specialized consulting for upgrades where we talk about what's new features. We review the plan and then determine what we should adopt to get the most return on your business. At the end of the day, it's all about a seamless upgrade that keeps your business running and gives you some real value out of the time we put into the upgrade to make it all possible. So it's a very methodical and step-by-step process at Crestwood that takes you end to end through this process.
Yeah, you mentioned the QBR. That's a good one. So on those quarterly business reviews, just in case maybe somebody watching this, they don't know what that is. Colleen, do you want to speak to that just kind of at a high level? What do we do in QBRs at Crestwood with our clients?
Yeah, so we make sure that we set up a quarterly business review or just a business review, maybe even monthly, based on the client and the cadence that they want to have. And we really talk strategically about what do they have? What are they investing in with Acumatica today? What are they not using? What are some things that they might want to consider? And maybe it's because they just haven't implemented and they have the license, or maybe it's that their business has changed and, they need to add new functionality to support the new needs in their business processes. So we really strategically talk through those different conversations. And as part of that, bringing up, Summit and making sure that clients are aware that that's an event that they can attend, talking about what happened at Summit, what were some of the key ISVs? What did 25R1 bring to the table? What different events and webinars are going to be coming down, the schedule, and what can they take advantage of? What documentation is available? What are some of the highlights from those different areas? Really making sure that we're educating our clients so they know what it is that they're investing in, because that's what they're doing. They're investing not only in Acumatica as far as a product is concerned, but they're investing in Crestwood to be that right partner for them.
So those sessions are totally focused on helping them with their next steps, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
So, okay, so let's say we have some clients who maybe didn't attend Summit, or maybe some that did, and they're kind of curious, they want to learn more, or they want to get some demos of this new environment and understand how it's going to impact them as a business. So, Colleen, what are your tips there? What should they do in that instance?
Yeah, so there's a lot of content. Obviously, anybody can go and they can do their own searching on the internet, and do some Googling there and go to the Acumatica site. I'm sure Acumatica will be pushing out some different content, as the product starts to be released. Our customer success managers, though, they're that point in contact. They're the ones that can help drive those conversations, can get resources connected with them to make sure that, we're delivering and they're seeing what's going on, making sure they have all the information and content that they need so they are up to date so they can make the right business decision for themselves.
Are there any specific upcoming webinars or trainings or resources that we're offering that you want to make sure that they know about?
Yeah, so once 25R1 is officially released, we'll have some definite push for some content that we'll be putting out. Probably a webinar we'll schedule to do a what's new review. But there's a lot out there already that we can provide. It's just on a case by case basis, just because the software is not in GA at the moment, and so just want to make sure that we're cautious in what we're presenting at the moment. But for overall, we can definitely help them with that. And there'll be a schedule. They'll be communicated on the business reviews, and I know our marketing does a spectacular job of communicating to our clients on what we have in the docket and what's on the calendar.
Yeah, it's a good point. A lot of times you'll see some information come out from marketing. You may think it's promotional. We try to do a pretty good job at Crestwood about just giving you informational type content. And so if you're not on our blog notifications, or if you're not on our email list, please, email us. Let's get you on that list. Or if you see the emails come over, definitely pop those open. Most of those emails that you're going to receive really have actionable items in there, or very informational things that will help your business grow or perform better, right? So, the last thing that just kind of popped up into my mind is, as we think about clients that have customizations, how does the UI affect development in the next year, especially with some of these AI studio changes? And so, Robert, maybe you can, speak to that to some extent with customizations.
Absolutely. So that's something where we're watching very closely. Acumatica's new UI tools allow you to rearrange fields and even actions to be in different areas of the screen. So that's something that we've had to reach out to customization in the past, but gives our users the flexibility to take it into their own hands and design the best interface for them. What we envision customization looking like in the future is even more in tune to business processes. I like to refer to it as the secret sauce, right? What makes your business operate in a way that demands Acumatica for its scalability? Let's make sure that we support that every single step of the way. Sometimes it can mean customization to get you to the ideal workflow. And sometimes we might be optimizing other areas of the business to meet industry standards. So it's something that we work very closely with our customers on. But as we look 2025 and beyond, our customizations are going to be extremely focused on improving processes.
Yeah, that's good feedback. Yeah, there's a lot to think about with this. And I think as we kind of come into some closing thoughts here, the big idea of this infrastructure with the customer success team, the services team that we have at Crestwood, that's really the power to the next steps for clients, right? There's a lot to navigate, and to try to do it on your own, I can see how it's going to be completely overwhelming, just because technology is rapidly advancing always. And that's where partners like us come in to help support that. So, a couple fun things, really. Fact number one is all the swag at Summit was kind of fun. I'm today wearing our Crestwood Products blue light glasses, in case anybody missed out on that. We had them at our booth. Come back next year. But then also, our Crestwood Products booth was a big hit too. We had a lot of people stop by, and it was just fun to show how our in-house development team, so to your point, Robert, with some of these customizations, our in-house development team has built solutions that kind of solve some of the gaps in Acumatica. And so we'll be having a lot of fun with updating our products as well with some of these UI changes. And so I guess that's a little plug for, if anybody's not using one of our products, check them out, because we've kind of learned from implementation and client experience where those big gaps are in the system, and we've solved for those with our own products. So also, I also thought it was great that hot breakfast was back this year. Were you guys pretty happy about that?
Oh,
I
yeah.
felt there was a major struggle last year with it. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, yes. No, I think that was a positive feedback all around. I mean, just people were raving that we had a hot breakfast, protein, protein.
Yeah, big deal. We have to gain our muscles, people.
Yes.
That's
Um,
right.
all right, so kind of closing thoughts, and we're going to spin this wheel and find out who our winner is. Uh, for Colleen and Robert, Robert, we'll start with you. What's one big takeaway from Summit that you'd want every client to know, just hands down, going into next year? What would that be?
AI is coming, so let's be sure that we're using it in a way that's responsible and that provides value to our business, as well as the community. Look at all of the wonderful ideas that were originally posted on community and were entered into the product.
Mm.
So if you're not using community, community.acumatica.com.
Ooh, that's a really great point of feedback. I was speaking with a prospect who's considering Acumatica, and they were comparing between NetSuite and Acumatica. And the biggest feedback that I had was, of course, like the partner that you choose for an implementation by far is going to be like huge success, right? But then also like take a look at the licensing. But in addition to that, the community. When you say something that you need with Acumatica, a lot of times it comes out in one of those next versions. And so the way that Acumatica is really connected into the client's business life is far different than what you're going to see with somebody like NetSuite. So huge competitive advantage for the Acumatica side. Colleen, what about you? What's your big takeaway from Summit that you'd want clients
Yeah.
to know?
See you in Seattle, 2026.
No more Vegas.
Yeah, I heard fireworks going off when they announced that, no. I think just to reiterate, what Robert was saying about community, that I just really I think clients, when we tell them, hey, you need to check out the community site, I don't think they really understand the impact of what that means.
Mm.
And like Robert said, that if you just take a look and see what features were added into 25R1 as a result of people putting comments and requests out there for product ideas and getting voted on and what went into the product, I think just speaks volumes that they have a voice. Acumatica does listen, and I just, hopeful that more clients are out there seeing that and are interjecting. But, also just like AI, that is a big deal. And we all are talking about it, right? We went through our AI journey at Crestwood, when we rolled out Copilot with, being the M365 partner that we are, CSP, hint, hint. But no, just rolling it out and making sure that you are adopting it in the proper manner and making sure that you have a plan. And guess what? It might not be ERP focused, and that's okay. We can still help. So, just making sure that we're having those constructive conversations with our clients as well.
Yeah, those are great points of feedback.
Mhm.
So, as you guys think about it too, with some of the changes that are coming to clients and into the community and how you can give that feedback, do we on our team, and I don't know this answer, so you guys educate me, we'll just kind of do a little side question here. Do we a lot of times enter those for our clients too? Like if we see like a pattern, do our consultants
Mhm.
go in and enter those into the community?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We have quite a few ideas that have actually made it into the Acumatica product. So anytime we're looking to fill a gap, we ask that question, is this your secret sauce? Right? Do we want to move forward and maybe customize the product? Or is it something where we can help you match to industry standard? And there are many benefits to that as well. One of them being faster onboarding, right? If we can match you to an industry standard, it means your onboarding process can be even smoother. When we enter that crossroad and we determine that it might not be the optimal solution, but we can certainly live with an industry standard for some period of time, we do enter it into the community, we get customer feedback, and we highlight it for Acumatica. Oftentimes it makes it into the product and we're able to make that seamless transition.
And so, Robert, this is another just kind of random question for you as we're talking through it. But when we know, okay, so for instance, we have support cases. So we have a whole online support portal. Clients can enter in our support cases. When you see something that comes in that is going to be part of a future version, what does that conversation look like with the client to know that, maybe perhaps it can't be fixed right now, but it's coming soon? Can you kind of explain what that kind of conversation looks like with a client just so that they know?
Absolutely. We are transparent with them immediately, right? We might not be able to promise a particular release or a particular version, but we can certainly have that conversation and determine if the current process or a workaround is a sufficient fit. We also have the Crestwood development team if it's not. So if we need something immediate, we have a fantastic team of developers that can get it into their hands quickly. And the last is Colleen and I meet regularly with Acumatica and have these conversations. And most importantly, share the business impact. If this is something impacting an entire industry, then that's something we can really leverage and share with Acumatica.
Yeah, that's great feedback. I think it's good to know that because sometimes clients aren't ready to do the upgrade immediately, but they have these pain points they're experiencing that we know from implementing the new version, it's resolved in the new version, right? And so I think that's another case in point. Reach out to your customer success team or your consultant, and let's make sure you're having those conversations so you know that there's hope for the future.
Yeah. And I think too, just to quickly add on,
Yeah.
one of the things that we are able to provide to clients that, is a little bit unique and I feel is another secret sauce that we have is our development team. So sometimes maybe Acumatica is not putting it into the product until a future version, but that doesn't mean we can't come up with an idea to help support the need today. And then using our dev resources to be able to do that. So that way, when that version comes out, they just end up using what's built into the product itself, but at least we can support the need today. So, there's quite a few times where that does come into play, and at least it's giving clients an option. They have a choice.
Yeah. Okay, that's great feedback. So Greg, kind of putting you on the spot here, this was your first summit. What was your big takeaway from this being your first summit?
Uh, I actually, my biggest takeaway actually came from the very first keynote, and he was talking about peak performance, and he made an analogy about athletes and how like the top athletes in each sport, they're always looking for that edge, always looking to get better, and looking for something that can give them leverage over their competitors. So that kind of resonates with everything we spoke about today within our clients. Like we want to make sure that all these Acumatica users, including our clients, are utilizing Acumatica to its best ability, whether that be customizations that we talked about or these new features that are coming out. So I think that was the biggest takeaway I had is not only for when it comes to sports, when it comes to businesses, like how we run at Crestwood, how our clients should be running, we should always be looking for that little edge that we can get better. How can we, even making slight changes and making small improvements every day, that's really going to set us apart and take us from good to great.
Yeah, yeah. And for anybody watching right now, it would be unique to know that Greg is actually a software engineer by like nature, and he has turned into a marketing director. And so his love for the technology during the summit was very evident. So, okay, are you guys ready to spin this wheel and see who won the walking pad? Speaking of performance, who's going to be getting their steps in this year? All right,
Do
so
it.
we thought it would be fun. We do this at Crestwood. So we have a core values nomination that happens every month in our organization where colleagues will constantly nominate each other for just great things that you're doing on a daily basis. So we get hundreds of these. And we have to pick a winner every month because in our organization, you win $100 at our company meeting for being nominated. So we'll do a little wheel spinner to select you. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the same wheel. We put everybody's names into here. All right, let's spin this wheel. Who's it going to be, guys? Let's see, let's see. Ooh, Gina McDonald. All right. Perfect. So we have our winner. Gina, you have now won. You're getting all the claps, all the emojis. Congratulations if you're watching. If not, we're going to reach out to you. But I feel like that's a wrap. We did a good job. I feel like we answered a lot of questions we knew that we're going to come across from clients. So thank you specifically to Colleen and Robert and, for joining this speed round of questions, basically, and just providing expert insights for our Acumatica users. For those of you watching, connect with us on LinkedIn. We're all pretty active on LinkedIn. You can join our Crestwood Associates page on LinkedIn, where we're sharing a lot of the latest happenings in ERP in general, especially around the UI changes with Acumatica, as well as a lot of the AI changes that are going to be happening. We also talk a lot about workflows and automation and productivity tools that can be helping your business just really gain efficiencies, especially if you're dealing with a little bit lower of like a labor force. We see a lot of teams, especially accounting teams, that are asking, how can I gain efficiencies with my tiny accounting team, right? We're also looking at things like security and compliance on top of your ERP. How are other ways that you are securing your business and you're ensuring the identity security of your users? So these things will help you streamline your operations. That's what we're here for. Those are the things we're talking about in newsletters and on LinkedIn. Hopefully, if you find those topics interesting, you'll join us and follow us. And then I guess in the meantime, that's a wrap, guys. Thanks for hanging in here. Greg, thanks for participating also. And we'll see you guys in the next run of questioning. How about that?
Fantastic.
Sounds good.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks. Have a good day.